We are here, we are watching more Jujutsu Kaisen. I don't think there's any chill anytime soon, with Sukuna now back, stealing the limelight. An entire swathe of the city crushed beneath a giant flaming meteor. The strength of the volcano fire spirit that he was, Jogo, just being annihilated with his own flames. If something doesn't stop him soon, Sukuna is gonna have a bit too much fun. Of course, there are other sorcerers out there all vying for their own survival, trying to find some way to release Gojo. Is anyone gonna get any close to it? As long as Jujutsu Kaisen keeps up with its high stake, high atmosphere, high pressure animation, art styling and the like, I'm gonna be happy. I rewatched parts of season one that I had previously said it was really nice animation, and it is. It just doesn't have the same raw energy to it as some of the stylings in this one. When we have fight scenes like we saw with Jogo and Sukuna, where you've got the scratch work, energy, line work that you can see. Nothing feels, I've said it before, nothing feels quite as raw as that. And I hope to see some more. But also knowing exactly that some of the animators at the studio are a little overworked, to put it lightly. I hope they're doing well, but I know that they can push out some generally fantastic stuff. So working conditions aside, let's try and enjoy some Jujutsu Kaisen. Was this back with his granddad so long ago, before any of the fingers? But how is his memories of the past? Are they going to be affecting Sukuna himself? I mean, he's got to work through them. Continuously get stronger and stronger to be able to defend himself and those around him. Let's hope he doesn't falter, doesn't fail. Considering he... Watch some of these people in the back. Pity he doesn't have any great healing techniques or anything. So he needs help with subjugating to get even stronger. Wow. So he's got to find a way to power through, have the strength of several people at once. Well, he's turned his gaze towards them, even with an open back and without any strength, considering he had the domain open in the fish realm for so long. Hmm. In all of history. Is he going to break that? Be the change, the growth in what sorcerers are capable of? Six eyes and the limitless technique. So, having someone that is so incredibly strong, you talk about the heads, like, This might not be the best time. He's not in great form to be able to overcome whatever he's about to call and subjugate himself for full use. Urgent business. Just wait for his time to shine and come back. Have a tea ready for him. Whoa. Why does it remind me of some 90s Saturday morning cartoon prelude? Just before the actual show goes on. And he knows immediately, well, shit. Something that was held in place with all of the chains and wires. Well, fuck. Well, he's gonna be having fun now. Teasing people teasing people for so long. He's erasing life's little daily miracles. Okay, so he has multiple lives, essentially. Huh? So it is fate itself saving him from these bits and pieces. But he himself doesn't actually know what the hell is going on. So that one needs to stay alive for as long as possible. Megami needs to stop trying to throw his life away. If there's a way to overcome this thing and win. But is it so easy to break into the ritual itself? It would be kind of funny if Yuji says no, takes back the body now. Make for a fun little combat session. And I do like how the entire city is kind of in a complete blackout apart from this area and this boards around it. Whenever there is the groundwork shattering. He'd bring a... Yeah, he got some food while he was out. When you've got the groundwork shattering and looking like that, you're in for some nice animation style and fight scene. The drink was no good. The food, even if it was on offer, wouldn't want it. Yep. This is what I was hoping for. The up the building gymnastics is not something I expected. When I was having a conversation about the previous episodes of Jujutsu Kaisen, and some of the did you take a finger? Huh. Some of the animation being done by or supervised by the guy that did the one from Mob Psycho. You can kind of see it if you'd seen any of those. And with just an overbearing power crossed with Sukuna's dissection. What happens if it manages to land just a single blow? There's no getting in the insurance back on those, is there? Just slide that back into place. Great. Like what we saw with the trenchcoat sorcerer saying about, well, there's still people and innocents out in the city. Now actually seeing them. Well, if there's anywhere you do not want to be, it's in the near vicinity of that fight. We can be guaranteed that there'd be no one left there. As soon as they see the fight, it's off. They're gone. Good old neck mouth. Bubbling? Is it constant? I was about to say, is it constantly growing and changing its patterns or whatnot? Which I think it is with the whole dial up there, but I'm going to turn this up slightly. I need the music to go along. With the city itself in ruins, suspended above the fight. Does this Shikigami know anything other than... Oh, well, yeah, they're gone. Know anything other than destruction? I wonder how this fight would have gone if he had someone that was actually wanting... He peeled a train. Yeah, how this fight would have gone if it was with someone that actually wanted to spare the city. I like that the size difference seems to be a little excessive now. Yep. I think it's more of a mercy. Everyone that is being caught immediately in that slice. Okay. On top of the scratchy line art, pen and ink stylings of the fast animation one, the color work is nice. Mixed with the simplicity when you get bits, like when he was inside of the inside of the subway train and falling backwards. And if it wasn't evident before, Why is there a plane? A plane got caught up in it. How widespread is Sukuna's slices? Is there an upper limit to how far they fly? Jesus Christ. Nice and yeah, if it's not going to cause a blackout, putting a toaster in his bathtub. I was about to ask, did it just gain gills? So it kind of looked like. This is very, yeah. So, okay. Oh, you're almost getting the kind of reminiscent of the Gynax stars, but the shadow work as well. No. So does it grow each time? Every time it faces trouble? Late throw rock paper scissors. So if it can survive your attacks, then there's no way of defeating it because it's an overcome. So you need one good blow. Oh no! What malevolent kitchen? God, is Gordon Ramsay going to appear? Well, if it was similar to others, then it just erupts where it is. Huh. I can see why he would be like the very precipice of sorcerers and whatnot if he can just do it out in the open. Hmm. So that he is relatively safe from that. Evaporated. Yeah, there isn't much to worry about when it comes to your phone. See? Christ. Removing it down to on the molecular level. Whoa. I loved the multiple layers of that. You can see the bone coming out as it was walking forward. A lot of colours and shapes swirling around in a maelstrom of just disaster. Okay. Christ. I mean, anyone that wasn't present in the area, if they're not caught up in all of the barriers and whatnot, they should now see things and get the fuck away. I think about 4,000 miles might be safe. And he's going back to the flame arrow, the same one he pulled out for Jogo there. And this nigh invincible Shikigami. How's it faring now after this? If that entire beatdown that we just saw doesn't do something to it? How does some of these places still have electric? Did he expend so much cursed energy he just had to switch out with Yuji? So, okay, I've done that. I'm gonna have a nap now. Just standing there in the middle of everything. Ah, no, he's still there. He has no use for him anymore. Lucky would be one thing. Yeah, he ran out with Nanami. Ah, so he was long dead already, was he? It wasn't Itadori, but the fact he brought him here, so you're the ones that can help him. Here you go. I need Megumi alive. He's interesting. Handing back control. Now, at the very epicenter of what just occurred, seeing the pit unfurl in front of him, what used to be a city. Nicely down the middle, wasn't just the face. Oh Christ, he was conscious the entire time. Yep. Oof. Is there going to be much of his fingertips left? I mean, showing a definite power gap. Having no credits, just the music playing over the destruction, showing the remnants of what once was a city. And characters that once were. Jesus Christ. I don't think I was ready for this one. If he can do something, fight against those cursed spirits that are still left, bring back. That is a intense stare. Hmm. Nanami. He's looking a little crispy. Christ almighty. Well, at least Sukuna has decided to go back for a little rest and a nap to go everything that he's managed to do today. But Nanami's seen better days. He is definitely going to need some immediate medical attention. However, I don't think he's going to seek it out. There are some characters which I'm fairly certain were going to be somewhat fine. Fushiguro being one of them. Seeing Nanami walk through the hallways, missing some vital functions. But 15 fingers, not even full power, and that is what Sukuna can just bring out. Like, he's still just having fun. He's not just going, alright, I'll just win now. No, still just experimenting a little. Seeing what kind of games he can play with this unbeatable spirit Shikigami thing being called out. Yes, Panda. Very bad. 9? Everyone knows that well-known prime number, 9. Wow. Okay, let's just ignore the plot for the time being and just go focus into things that I was stunned by. Having the animation as was, the city being used nothing but more than a playground for their fight, the inhabitants being, well, just boiled down to, well, almost literally, boiled down to the scenery, some nice sound effects as they pass by, painting the walls a little more shade of crimson. But if you ever want a flow to your animation, to your fight scene, yeah, you pay attention to this kind of shit. There was one bit that was actually slightly difficult to see. I don't know if it was because of my eyes or just what looked to be a ghosting or blur when it was tumbling and spinning. God, when I can't remember his name, the animator will not. It's all when you see it, it's so obvious. Obviously, it wasn't quite as dramatic as Nakamura. It wasn't quite as dramatic as that, but it had that same kind of flair to it. You had the ground shattering and the concentric rings being flown off, buildings crumbling around them. I will say, having both colour and light work play on the same layer, what it was just before I mentioned the Gainax stars, I think. Very descriptive, I know. Onomatopoeic way of storytelling. And the view from inside the malevolent kitchen, the thing being torn down to the atomic level, rebuilding itself instantly. You can see as it flows through him, pulling bits of it apart. That is not something anyone would ever want to be near. But also showing just such a great divide. Everyone having their own domains, putting it on a separate layer to reality. Not Sukuna. Nah, I'll just do it here. I guess with Yuji now coming to having the memories of everything that happened, and I'm guessing knowing the full intent of Sukuna and what he held back on, what he did, all flooding into his brain. Maybe he can be slightly grateful that at least Megumi was spared, but like what we saw underground with the civilians cowering in the tunnels, oh, don't worry, I don't have phone signal, but I'm sure it'll be fine. We won't have to worry about it for too long. As they are instantaneously unwrapped down to every fibre. There is some things I would be remiss if I didn't mention. I probably would not have thought about it if it wasn't brought up to me before, so I did have a small bit of knowledge going into this. Megumi pulling out his trump card, and the fact that he is not the first time attempted to do this. I think the only time now being one in which it was actually somewhat beneficial, since you had someone who could actually stop it. Christ, what happened if he unleashed it before? Obviously he would die, but so would anything else in the vicinity. At least if it's only restricted to those that are in the ritual, it might have been okay. Jesus. But after that entire episode, having Yuji step up and be, right, I need to go and do something now, claw back a little bit of worth, knowing that he has now facilitated the birth or the rebirth of Sukuna, who got out and did this, taking it upon himself. I'm a murderer. Well, no, you're just housing the murderer. Slight but almost significant distinction. I do not believe he's going to easily just slip back into the normal class life after this, if indeed there is an after this. Don't know where the story's going to go, just that our brain in a jar that is the ghetto has a lot planned. And after some memes, which I really, really couldn't avoid, a trip to the beach. Utterly confusing me, but still. There's so much I want to see. Probably you do as well, with Sukuna now 15 out of 20. Still needing a little bit left to power up and fully release. The people behind him almost getting things ready for his grand return. Is there going to be any sort of calm after the storm? And who will be around to actually see it? At least a lot of the trouble they're up against, the sorcerers who are so much of a pain, always popping up to cause a little bit of issue here and there, are equally valid targets for Sukuna and anyone else nearby. Just, don't have to worry about the eternally lucky little slice-o-matic one. Well, we still have a panda. We still have one who's so trying to stay out of trouble. And I cannot look at him, I think both in design and voice, without just going immediately back to Kaiki. Honestly, having Kaiki in the middle of all of this would be hilarious. Hilarious being the completely wrong word to use, but I hope he's doing fine. We're going to have to see. If you enjoyed this episode, let me know. Leave a like and a comment down below. Consider subscribing, join onto my Discord if you don't want to miss anything. But most importantly, as long as you haven't been horribly scarred by everything that you've seen, I'm going to be here as always. So, not a lot of Shibuya left. They're going to have a lot to rebuild. Jujutsu Kaisen has been one hell of a show. So I hope to see you for the next one. Jujutsu Kaisen really showing what it means to be overkill. But taking what we learned in this episode, if you would like to help my channel grow, overcome and adapt to any situation, consider joining onto my Patreon. We won't be beholden to any sort of copyright rules, or the notion of having good content. But still, you guys following me along, and I must thank Noku, Sal, Croyville, Diego Zenhausen, Guado, Kite, Raywin, Light Wizard 91, Shiwan, Tori Jane and everyone else, for they have given me more than I think I really deserve, and at least the entire city around me is still standing.